Hello, welcome to the Sibs and Smut podcast. I am Jordan,
I'm Maddie.
and today this is a part of our 12 Days of Smutmas, and we're going to be talking about Merry Midnight by T.C. Craven. And it's a short story, it's a novella, but my goodness, is
Yeah, it's an
it
easy
is
read.
good.
Ooh,
It's actually really well written for
it
what
is.
for how short it is. And it is a sequel, but you could still read it and get the general idea. It's obvious that there's
Yeah,
some information from the first one, but you have a general idea of like
yes.
what's going on. And it's not so
I did
difficult to
not
follow along.
read the prequel or the first book.
I didn't either.
And I kind of figured reading the second one that there's a couple that they kind of go into more detail about, and it does sound like a recap. So I was like, okay, I probably haven't just read their story, but this one packed a punch in like 100 some pages.
Yeah, it really did.
I
There was
loved
a lot
it.
going on, but
It
it's
was a
also,
lot.
but it was good with like kind of a quick world building moment. Like, okay, this is what's going
Yeah,
on. Here you go. So, quick little backstory.
yeah,
It's basically about witches and their magical powers, and they live a long time, and there's not very many of them, as you come to find out.
yeah.
Don't want to give too much away because it is a short story, but they do live a long time, and they are basically
I think
waiting
they
to
live.
find
I
them.
think I feel like they're immortal essentially.
I feel like it is too, because I think her parents, which are like her foster parents in a way, I think they're like almost 1,000 years old. Like they're old. Like they've
So
like
yeah,
lived a
something
yeah,
like that. They're
yeah,
like
they're
real old. Because
yeah.
I liked the part where her parents show up at her house
Mm-hmm.
and she's working on a spell for some friends,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, "Well, I'm like 300 some years old. I'm not getting any younger." I
Yeah.
was like, "Okay,
Oh, glad you could just spout that. Like it's
glad.
no
Well,
big
you look
just
fantastic. What is your moisturizer? Like,
I'm a witch.
what's your
That's what
skincare
she's like. I'm a
routine?" Yeah,
witch.
that's probably all it is. There's a cauldron and just
Yeah,
wrinkles gone.
so they live a long time. And so from what I understand, they
A
have
really, really long
their
time.
bond mates, which if you've ever read any Shifter series, is basically like a
Yeah.
fated mate situation. And she
Yeah.
has yet to find anyone, and it's very rare, unfortunately, because there's not very many of them. So it does take a while
Yeah.
for some of them to find it. Luckily, her foster parents found their mates, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So they're mated. And
hmm
then, could you imagine trying to date when your parents are like fated mates? And like you have that example and that you get like stuck with like a shitty witch or warlock and you're just like, really? Is
well,
this all I
her
get?
dad Silas is extremely protective. Like they were her and her mom were teasing him, and he was about ready to
I
go axe somebody. It was kind of funny.
I loved him. He was a very protective dad. So I guess that kind of goes back. There's a like the book starts back in like the 1600s, and
Hmm
there is somebody carrying someone, like a male carrying female through
hmm
the woods, and he ends up like putting her in a tree
To
trunk
protect her, to try to hide her
and like
from there.
protect her and like closes it off or like whatever. There's people chasing him.
Hmm It's basically like a witch hunt from what I gathered. It's like they were chasing them down
Yeah.
to do a witch hunt. And because there's a
Yeah.
fire later, you
Well, and then
don't,
we realize,
yeah.
yes. Well, we
And
find out later that there's these like what are they called? I like
I
ones of the night or
sort
something.
of, I can't remember if there was an exact phrase or name, but I
I
was
think
in my
I
head
think
thinking
it
like they
was at the
were,
beginning, but like,
they were like
I just think Shadow
ethereal.
Daddy.
Yeah. Shadow. It's essentially,
Yeah,
that's what he is. He's a shadow daddy,
he's a little Shadow Daddy,
but in his
but he can
world,
only be around. Yeah,
he's ethereal. He doesn't have actual
he's
like
ethereal
dream.
until December 21st, Yule, or the
Mm-hmm.
longest night of the year,
Mm-hmm.
because he's a Shadow Daddy. And that's the one night a year that they take like a mortal form.
Mm-hmm.
And these beings, these ones of the night, feed on the magic of witches. Like they have to feed on a witch in order to have a body form any other day of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But in doing so, they were talking about how the witches are their magic. So when the magic's gone, they die.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was who was hunting them in the beginning, but it's a really interesting dynamic.
It's strange. I thought it was a little weird. It's like, so why are you hunting them if you need their magic, and if you kill them all, they're gonna be gone, and you won't be alive. Like it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, but
But I think that's
he was
also
hot.
part.
So
Well,
I
Well, that
allowed
see,
it.
she gave him a name, Nicholas, or he said to call him that. But
But
Nick,
yeah, he said that.
but
I think
the
he
thing
saw something
is,
like a sign or something in the bar because she
some,
was like, "What's your name?" And he was like, thinking to himself, "I don't have a name. Like we don't do names.
hmm. Well,
We just are."
here's what it is. I think the other there, because remember he said that he was having to fight his fellow like beings or whatever to protect her. I
His
think
fellow shadow daddies.
I don't think they were necessarily trying to hunt her down so much as like he's not supposed to be fraternizing with them.
Well,
So that's
he's not, but I got the impression that she has more magic than like the average witch.
I think she's more
And
of an
it's,
empath, like a higher empath
yeah,
type. Like she can
it kind of seemed like her
her
magic was like
power
a
just like
beacon.
yeah, and she's not
Yeah,
aware of it. And other witches I don't think even really sense it.
yeah,
I think it's just to other beings because no one else was making comments about it. I was waiting
yeah.
for that and I was like, okay, so maybe it's just to certain beings and they're like, oh, she's an special treat. She's got all the extras. But
Yeah, because
any
so yeah, talk about, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say, so they, he meets her. It's kind of funny because he's trying to like get to know her because he's kind of been watching her for a long time since that tree,
Really long
basically,
time.
very long time. But he hasn't been able to really. I don't think he really tried to do the corporal form until this night, if I remember correctly. And he finally got to like touch her and talk to
I
her,
really feel
and
like
he's obsessed.
he gets the corporal form every year, but he protects her and
Mm-hmm.
he knows that like he can't go near her because he could hurt her. And he
Mm-hmm.
feels this connection and he thinks it's to her magic. And in the book realizes that it's not her magic, it's her.
Yep.
But he's
There.
like protecting her from all the other shadow daddies that would kill her for her magic.
Yeah.
And just genuinely being a badass.
Mm-hmm. It's every morally gray man, kill her, don't touch her, you die type thing. Like, don't mess with my girl. All of those vibes, even though
Yeah,
he's not
I'm
fully
not mad
aware
about
of
it.
it. No, it's really good, and
It's really good.
it's an interesting dynamic because they're not enemies, but it has those vibes because he's a being that technically could take her magic, yet
Yeah,
they're bonded. So what that's got an extra layer of a
yes. It's a
complication there.
weird, like a weird, not like a triangle, but like there's this weird other dimension to their relationship.
Which I think is fun later because they figure, I'm not going to say how, but I'll say that they do figure out a way around it. And it's interesting because basically it's more than just like bonded mates, but it's like true
Yeah,
soulmates. Because if she dies, he basically would die too, and I don't think he'd want to live without her anyway. So
yeah,
it's a strange kind of bond without
it is.
like okay, Akatar is a good example of like they said we if you die I die and you sign up and you get a tattoo.
Yeah,
Well, not so much here as it is like in order for him to stay, there's a consequence to it. But once she goes, that's it, and he pretty
yeah,
much would go too. And it's like he's like, cool, I'm fine with that. I don't. That's the only reason I'm here.
yeah. Like didn't really want to do it without you anyway.
Yeah. So it's a really
What a
interesting
man. What a
take.
man. I really liked this. I literally like some of the books that we read for our Smutmas series. I like, and this is one of them. I did not read the summary or like anything about it. I went in 100% blind.
Hmm.
And this book, I was really glad I did because I was like, I have no idea what's going on.
I
And I
I
like it.
I got like glimpses of it just from like pictures, so I knew I kind of have an
Yeah,
idea because the author has
there's some
art.
good pictures. God,
Yeah,
the art with this one is
yeah, it's pretty
grade A top
good.
notch. It's
Um,
pretty good.
and so I was looking at that, so I had an idea of what they looked like, but I didn't under fully get like the whole story, and I didn't want to because I still wanted to go in a little blind. I'm glad I did because it made it more interesting to learn about
Yeah.
the world, where they are, why they are where they are, like Alaska of all places, and all this other stuff too.
Yeah.
So that's also a nice take because it's not some big city or a small
No, and
town.
that's kind of more the I think the norm. Like with a lot of books, it's easier to put them in a big city because people can relate to that. But this is like, I mean, they're literally in the backwoods of Alaska
Hmm.
where
Not
people
even
just
a small
mind their own
town.
business.
It's not
No,
even a
like
village. It's just,
it's like there's some other people here
yeah, there's
and they all mind their own business.
business. And that's basically how they like it. So It's not,
Yeah.
there's not really a town or anything like there. They'll go into uh it kind of reminds me of like Old West. Like just it's not really a town,
Yeah.
but like a stopping point, I guess. There's like a
Yeah.
stopping point where there's like your
There's
little
like a
grocery
bar
store and a
where you
bar
can
and you can get some
stop.
food and get warmed up and that sort of situation. But that's it.
Yeah.
Like super minimal.
Very minimal. But like they talk about how, and it makes sense for what they're talking about, how the witches know, I think kind of, it sounds like by lore
Mm-hmm.
to have their Yule log burning all night to protect them from the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it would make sense with that because you're either going to have like 23 hours of darkness or 23 hours of sunlight, depending on the time of year,
Mm-hmm.
or like somewhere in between. Grew up in Alaska. It made me think of the proposal where like they kept putting the blinds down because it
Mm-hmm.
was still really sunny.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
that
true.
kind of helped me. Yeah.
And then it's like like 30 Days of Nights, that vampire movie where there it's like dark
Yes.
for several times,
Dark,
like
dark, dark.
several, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of
I could see
like
it.
one way and the other way with it, which I
Yeah.
understand where they're coming from, but still. But there also wasn't a whole lot of because there's so few of them left that they don't have as much history as they probably should. So there was a lot of
Yeah.
like gaps there that they were still trying to figure out.
I agree with that. It was kind of like, I don't want to say like making it up as they go, but like she knew to light the Yule log, but she wasn't, I felt like aware of the shadow daddies and like what that meant. She just knew that some witches disappeared if they went out on that specific night.
I mean, I feel like most women would disappear if they went out on the darkest night of the year in
Honestly,
Alaska.
it did make me think of that. Just like a general,
Rule, don't do that.
you should not go out alone, or like, just don't do it.
Hmm. But
It made me think of just being a woman and you're like going out in an alleyway in the middle of the night. You're like, that's probably not a good idea.
yeah. But I also think it's because of the witch aspects. They
Yes.
fight other creatures and things. So
Yeah.
that's another aspect of it too. Overall, though, I was very impressed with
I
the writing.
loved it.
It was
It was
really,
so
really
good.
good. Like it's fast paced because it is a shorter book. I think this was that was 125
Yeah.
pages, like right around there. There's a lot going on in those 125 pages. There's a
There is
lot.
a lot. And I think one of the things I really loved about it, so it's by, like we said, TC Craven, and they do a great job at the beginning of the book. There's
Hmm.
several pages of like, this is how my writing typically goes. This is a good book to start with
Hmm.
if you've not read my stuff before. Here's what these like words mean to me in my writing when you're
Hmm.
reading about witches, and like here's the history of Yule, here's the folklore that you should know. And I found that super duper helpful
Hmm.
when reading this because I have not read their work before and I want to
Hmm.
now.
Hmm. Same.
But I found that really helpful. Just kind of, there was a couple points in the book where I went back, I want to say to the like vocab page where it's like,
Hmm.
okay, this is what we call XYZ.
Yeah. Which is very
Yeah.
helpful. And I like when
Yeah.
authors do that. And this is an indie author, by the way. So shout out to TC Craven. They did a fantastic job with this.
Fantastic. I literally, we had several books to get through for our Smutmas series, but like that's one author that I wrote down and I was like, no, we have to go back and
Hmm. Hmm.
explore some more stuff because I thought it was so well written. I loved how different it is.
Hmm.
Like it's just a very different take on witches. And I mean, let's be honest, we love ourselves a shadow daddy. Um,
But the way that
and
this
this
was
one is like,
written,
oh,
but the way that the
it's
Shadow
so
Daddy was
good.
written, it was done in such a way where it's like, because people when they think Shadow Daddies, they think just like an
Yeah.
elf with like dark powers. Like
No.
he's an actual shadow.
He's
Like
like
he's an
I
actual shadow. Like an
think they said he's
ethereal
like
a
a
piece of the
sliver
night.
of the longest night.
Yeah, that's
Like,
basically what he is.
yeah.
And it's like
And
that's a
it's something
whole
that
other
should
kind of
be,
thing.
yeah, it should be threatening. And
Hmm.
he knows he should be threatening. And he's so worried that he's going to hurt her.
Hmm.
But I loved that. I mean, he's so protective. He knows himself and he's like, I would love to be with you, but I'm terrified I'm going to hurt you.
Hmm.
And I loved that. Hmm. I
I
love him.
I overall very
It was
impressed.
just really, really good.
It was very, very good. Definitely
Very
recommend
good.
this author.
Yes.
And we'll be adding because I know he has another. They have another series, pomegranates and something. It's like a twist on Hades and Persephone, I believe. Don't.
Ooh, okay. I do like me some Hades and Persephone. It's a good one.
I think actually that one he got into Barnes
I'm
and
gonna have to go back
Noble.
and read that.
I think. Yeah, I think I saw.
Hey,
I think I got.
I
I
like it.
saw. I saw that as like one of their goals was like to have it in Barnes and Noble, one of their books, and I think that was the book that got into Barnes and Noble. But I could be getting him mixed up with another person, so sorry.
Who cares?
But I,
I think that's
but
great.
I
They
do know
should
they
be
have
in
more
Barnes
than
and
one
Noble if
book.
they're not.
Yeah, they're really a good writer, and I know they're at a few book
It's
events, and I
very
would like to
good.
meet this person. So
Same.
on
I
my
like the
list.
mystery of them too. They seem to wear a mask and like keep their identity a secret,
Oh yeah,
and
this is heavy on like
that's
a
some
lot
fun.
of liked tropes. Stalker obsessive,
Yeah.
like hundreds of years. Stalker obsessive. Um,
100 years, touch her and die.
Shadow Daddy.
Shadow Dad.
Touch or Die. Morally, definitely morally gray. Gives zero F's about
Very
everything else.
Marley
He
Gray.
only cares about her. Um, and he's a little scared of Silas. And then
Like obsessed hero, I guess I would say.
yeah, he
Yeah.
hits all the definitely the dark romance tropes
I
with
love Silas as
magic
a
and all
dad.
the
Yeah.
fantasy aspects. So definitely like a
So good.
dark romanticy type fit going on here.
Yes, I agree. Dark romancy type fit, but with
Or dark whimsy.
so much more.
Maybe dark
Yeah.
whimsy, more dark whimsy. It's like it's not really
Dark
fantasy
whimsy.
as it is more whimsical because
Yeah.
witches and the
Is
Christmas
this a
theme.
really, it's a really cool take. Like, because I feel like witches are one of those things that's done a lot.
Lot. Yeah, they do. That is
And
a
yeah,
recurring topic. It's very
this one was
hard
a
to get something different.
really fresh take.
It really was. I was
Yeah.
kind of like
I
really wanting
loved
to
every
learn
second.
more about this lore,
I
and I'm
know
like, I
that's
need
why
to
I was
go
like, I
back and
want
read
to
that
read
first book.
more. I
Yeah.
exactly. I want to read the first one. I'm going to go back and read that. Um, but it was just it's one of those books that you're just like, this is such an interesting take. It's a fresh take. It's a interesting perspective.
Hmm.
I stayed up. Um, I could not fall asleep until I finished this. And it, like we said, it's not long. It's just that we've had a lot to read. And so I read several books in a day. And this happened to be the one that I read right before bed. And I was like, I'm not stopping this.
Yeah,
I will suffer in the morning. That's fine. I can't stop here.
I
It's too
read
good.
quite a bit of books too. When I got to this one, I read them all. I didn't stop. I was like, nope, I'm not stopping. And this is really, yeah, this is up there. I would say on the writing, just on the writing side. By the way, it's not just the writing. The spice in this is very, very good, and it happens
Oh,
quickly
it's
because it
so
is a shorter.
good.
So, but it's not funnily written. It's not awkward. It's really like you feel that
No, it's
tension.
really
You feel
good.
that like
Yes.
attraction and through the story. So it's the spice on this is really good too. I would probably give this four peppers because of the intensity.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And
What would
then
you give like writing wise
I would
stars?
give it like a 4.8 because
I
it's
agree.
different, it's
I was gonna say
innovative,
4.8,
and it's a
4.9.
twist on a very often used topic with witches and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I really liked the difference with it.
So do I, because I think when you get into topics like that that are, I don't want to say overdone because they absolutely have their place, but like I was very pleasantly surprised with how unique this
Mm.
was.
Mm-hmm.
And the writing is phenomenal
Mm-hmm.
anyway.
I agree.
But that like unique aspect of it just really drives it.
Mhm. And
It's
you're
just it's a really good,
so you're
it's a
already
good read.
absorbed in with the writing and the story and then the spice level, and it's a good
So
read for
good.
Christmas, and it's a good read
Yeah,
just for if you just want a
in
smutty book.
general.
It has both plot and smut, everything you would need for a good Christmas
Yeah,
year.
this one's a good full rounded one, plot
Hmm.
and smut. I feel like it's very well rounded in both of those aspects.
I agree. So on
Yeah.
that note, definitely recommend Merry Midnight by T.C. Craven.
Yes.
Pretty sure you can
Read
get
it.
it
You
on
won't be sorry.
Amazon. I know we can get it on Kindle
You
Unlimited.
can.
It's
It's
on
on
there for
Kindle
free.
Unlimited. I do believe it's also on Amazon. You can order a paperback. I think it comes in a hardback too. I
Maybe.
know it's not on Audible.
No. I think he's doing that third party because he's reached out to influencers about that, but I'm not 100% sure.
Ooh,
Um,
cool.
but I saw like a clip, so I think that's in the work. So it may come later, but
That would be
currently no
cool.
Audible, but the book itself is really, really good.
It's
So highly
fantastic. Who
recommend.
cares if it's not? Yeah, read
Read their
it. It's
stuff.
worth it.
TC Craven. Go read their stuff. So thank you guys. Have a
Yes.
good one.
Thanks. We'll see you next time.